Get ready. 2025 to 2030 is going to change everything as you know it. Brad Garlinghouse, Trump, Michael Saylor, and Larry Fink are all going to play big parts in this transition. So today, obviously, I'm not in my studio here the day after Christmas. So Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate. For our family, we believe in God, in Christ Jesus, Jesus Christ, Yeshua. But I want to say thank you. Thank you to all of you guys for being here. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for everything. I'm super grateful. But remember, we don't want to wait till New Year's to get our shit together. The time is now. So what I decided to do today is I'm going to take you through a brain dump. I have what's called a logical circuit within my mind. And so my brain is able to look backwards in history and then see the waves of energy to predict where I think we're going to go. Not predictions, not clairvoyant. It's pretty easy to see within a human being, within us, and within nature, and within all things, there is a wave of energy. The tide goes in, the tide goes out, the markets go up, the markets go down. So I hope by sharing this information with you guys and in sharing exactly what I'm doing, I'll never talk about things that I'm not doing, and sharing exactly what I'm doing that'll help you stay calm. So the first thing I want to share with you guys is we have a 6-year horizon coming up. We hear all the time, am I too late? Am I too late? You're right on time. So the first thing you have to do is write this down. I'm pulling myself to a 30,000 foot overview. You have to expand yourself up to look down on the waves of energy. If your emotions look like this, you're going to get wrecked 100% of the time. Number two is you have to get out of the get rich quick mindset. You will get wrecked every single time. We've coached over 9,300 people, and we haven't heard one person, not one person that we've met, if they got rich from a get rich quick or chasing meme coins or all these different things, somehow they get wrecked because that's not how money works. Another thing I wanted to say before I kick this off is don't listen to people telling you to borrow money to invest in the markets. Okay. It's borrowed money. Think about that for just a moment. You didn't earn that income. So there's no positive energetic frequency to it. You're borrowing money, and I'll explain this in just a moment. So I'll give you an example. I hear people saying, get a no interest rate credit card, take the credit card and get into the markets. That's not earned income. You're borrowing against your future self. What if the markets collapse? We see it all the time. It doesn't work out the way you think it's going to work out. The earned income is what you should be putting into the markets. When you profit from the earned income, that energy transfer, you take that energy transfer and then you can multiply it because you earned it. Okay. There was an exchange of value, exchange of energy. Money is just energy. It's currency. It moves through the system. Okay. So I'll get off my soapbox. Another big warning as well. If you're new to my channel, if you're new to cryptocurrency, I want to let you guys know I will never, ever proactively DM you about your crypto, ever. I won't even proactively DM you. We will respond to your messages. Okay. There's thousands of scam accounts for anybody in this type of industry that has any influence. Okay. So never send your crypto to anybody. We do not have a trading platform. We do not have an investment platform. We do not ask you, none of my team members will ask you to send them money directly. Okay. QFS accounts are a scam. Brad Garlinghouse is not doing a crypto giveaway. Never, ever, ever, ever send your money to anybody you do not know personally. Okay. You'll never send my team members money directly. We have multiple ecosystems, multiple companies, but you'll never directly send my team member or me money. So that goes for all of you guys in the crypto space. If you don't know the person, do not send them money. Keep you out of trouble. It's too good to be true. It is. Okay. So let's talk about 2025 to 2030. Okay. And I like to do these types of videos more for myself to reference back. I've been doing these types of videos since 2020. And it really helps me see, number one, the growth that we've done within our community, but number two, to see how accurate we are and see if I'm in alignment and if everything is with good intentions and if everything is going well. I always say you should be weary of a man or woman whose narrative changes every single week. Their investment strategy changes every single week. And you should maybe listen to somebody that you can go back and watch and monitor because they're consistent, they stick with the plan, and you can measure the actual results. So this video today, I'm going to talk about the current day today, which is December 25th, 2024, and I'm going to take you all the way to 2030. Now, you're probably wondering why I put Brad Garlinghouse, Larry Fink, who else did I put on there? Trump, and Michael Saylor. They're all going to be playing pivotal roles in bringing us into the golden era. Now, what I want to say is, I'm not touting one person I will tout is Brad Garlinghouse. I think he's one of the greatest CEOs and is going to be one of the greatest CEOs in the financial industry. He's going to go down in history. I do like Trump. I'm a big RFK fan, so I'm excited about what he's going to do taking us into the golden era. Larry Fink, not a big fan. I think he's part of the World Economic Forum, and he's on the board of trustees. He's moving us into this, and I think there's something else going on behind the scenes. Michael Saylor, I think he's a very, 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 very smart man, and I think you should pay attention and watch his videos with unbiased and really pay attention to what he's doing. Okay, but all of them play key pivotal roles within the transition into the golden era. So if we can take our unbiased lens on and look at actually what is happening. Okay, if you haven't studied the fourth turning, go back and study the fourth turning from 2008 to 2030. We're in our crisis stage. Okay, so we hit really hard crisis part. So there's going to be a lot of distractions, aliens in the sky, threats of World War III, all these different things. But remember, from 1929 to 1942, World War II, around World War II, that was our great grandparents or our grandparents. That was their crisis stage. Remember, hear ye, the banks are collapsing. And what happened when they woke up after World War II? America became the dominant currency. We had Bretton Woods, we had new infrastructure, we had growth, we had the American dream, the 1950s, the boom, right? It was the middle class. And the middle class is a new concept. We're going through the exact same thing right now. Okay. We had the housing collapse. And then all of a sudden in 2009, Bitcoin was created. Interesting. Right after the biggest financial collapse in America in 2008, our crisis stage started. Okay, and from there, there's been different timelines. 2009, Bitcoin was created. BRICS was created, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, to de-dollarize. Okay. And then we go into 2012, which the Mayan calendar was predicted to end. But I think the Mayan calendar was telling us that this is death of the old, the birth of a new. The FOMC was created. Rosie Rios was told to reduce coin and cash usage, but she couldn't because Obama turned the rescue plan turned the printing machine on full blast. She said she was responsible for signing the last $100 bill and responsible for bringing in a new wave of currency. And she's on the board of directors for Ripple Aquarius. So then we go into 2020, and she said you need a shock to the system to change consumer behaviors. In 2020, boom, we had a massive shock to the system. We got shut down globally. That shut down trade. It shut down supply chain. Interesting. It stopped the movement of money. It got us all on Zoom calls, TikTok, all these different things, which was training us and getting us ready for what we're about to experience. Okay. The system was always designed to change. Think about this. We're 100 years from 1913 when the Federal Reserve was created. The Federal Reserve was created in 1913. And since the Federal Reserve was created, which is supposed to control money supply and protect the job markets, our dollar has collapsed 97%. You have 3% purchasing power. So do you think it's by chance that all of a sudden, Larry Fink, the one who told you it's used for money laundering, Bitcoin, in 2023, remember, billionaires use astrology, millionaires use charts. If you look at the astrology charts as we transition into 2025, it's an inflationary chart. Okay. So there's going to be inflation. Okay. So as you head into 2023, Larry Fink's like, something's going on here. The dollar's losing its value. We're going to transition into deflationary asset as we make this transition into the golden era. So that's why all of a sudden you see Bitcoin went from decentralized, anti-government, everybody running from, to Trump switching his tone and going full on pro crypto at the Bitcoin conference. Cynthia Loomis creating a Bitcoin treasury bill. RFK has almost all his wealth in Bitcoin and a whole pro crypto White House. Okay. So that brings us up to present day, December 25th, 2024. So we wake up, everybody's frustrated, the markets are going sideways. What I believe is going to happen, you're probably going to see around New Year's, you'll probably start to see the markets pick back up. As we transition into January, specifically the inauguration, you're going to see cryptocurrency go boom, straight up. Okay. Now, again, remember, you're very early. Bull run number one is education, bumps and bruises, building your foundation. That's your bull run number one. You might make some money, who knows, but long term, okay? Number two, which will be your next bull run, 2028 to 2030, will be your wealth bull run. That's the one we're in now. The next bull run, which could be different innovation, technology, AI, will be your generational wealth. Okay. So around January going into January 20th at the inauguration, we're gonna have a full pro crypto White House coming in, and crypto is going to boom. January, February, March, April. It's gonna start to cool off. Sell. Remember, write this down. Sell in May. Go away. The markets organically do that. Okay. That's why we study history to predict the future, right? Around May, the markets will start to cool off. Everything has to cool off. That's what you're experiencing right now. Have you ever seen a market go straight up? No. Has your relationship ever been perfect? Absolutely not. It doesn't exist, right? Everything is a wave of energy. Just take a deep breath. There's nothing in nature that has a straight line, including you. Everything has curves, everything has waves. So you're going to get in, you're going to make all this money, and you're going to be like, it's always going to, no, it's not always going to be like that. You have to make sure you have a game plan. So as we go into May, it's going to cool off, summertime. May, June, July, August, September, we'll probably see the market go back up again. Okay, that'll be the finishing of the bull run. Okay, and then if it follows the same pattern, if there's not some super cycle, which I'll explain in just a moment, in 2026, you'll see the markets come collapsing down. That's what I'm hoping for. I like the bear market because I'm a long-term fundamental holder, which I'll explain exactly what I'm doing. Okay. Now, the thing you need to pay attention to is the stock market. Okay. So, as Trump comes in and the new campaign comes in, one thing they can do is weaponize the financial system. We got a bond market that the bond yields are reinverting, which signals a recession. We may go into an inflationary environment if he slams all these tariffs on other countries. But remember, the dollar is the strongest currency. You're not going to lose the dollar, but we are transitioning into a new wave of energy, a new asset backed currency, digital currency, distributed ledger technology, on demand liquidity, an old archaic SWIFT system, an analog system to a new banking system, Web 2.0 to Web 3.0, industrial to technical. I'm giving you all the hints of the things you should be looking at. Okay. What is going to win from 2025 to 2030 is companies that are innovative, that are growing us into a new economy. You're heading into the golden era. The middle class is getting wiped out, leverage towards technology, moving down to the working poor. There'll be consumers of all this technology, and there'll be the investors in the technology. There'll be a huge wealth gap. Remember what they said in the World Economic Forum? You will own nothing and be happy in 2030. And everybody's like, oh, that's bullshit. But listen to me for a second. Be honest with yourself. How many of you actually own your phone? Most people rent their phone. They never pay it off. They put it onto their bill. It goes on and on. Most people no longer own their car. They keep flipping it into a new car over and over again, taking away from their future self, borrowing against their future self. Most people do not own their home. And I think somewhere, don't go research this, but I think the average American, I think the average retirement account's around $200,000 to $300,000. Think about that. If you retire with $1,000,000 at 4%, that's $40,000 in retirement income. So America's in a really, really bad tipping point financially. The middle class cannot survive anymore. So we have this rare opportunity and this rare portal that opened up where the Main Street can get a piece of Wall Street. Now you got to be super, super careful because when you get into this type of industry or you get into this type of asset class, you're going to get that get rich quick mindset. It's all about building the foundation first. Build the foundation. Okay. Build that 6-year horizon. And as Raul Paul says, I say it wrong every time. He says, you got 6 years. Don't F this up. Okay. So if you feel really emotional and really hypey, you're going to get wrecked. You got to take a deep breath. It's just a wave of energy. Okay. So it's going to go up. People are going to come rushing in at the top. It's called FOMO, fear of missing out. If you get caught at the top and you believe in what you're invested in and you come collapsing down, just ride the wave down. Don't panic sell. When the wave collapses, you buy more. You do the opposite of everybody. Everything is inverted, right? Christ said, you slap me on one cheek, I'll let you slap me on the other. Invert everything. The 99, this is really important. Jim Rohn says if you have $1 million to every single person in society, you'll end up in the same 1% hand. Why? Because you don't rewire the foundation. That's why I'm not big on chasing meme coins, get rich quick. If you want to do that, go to the gas station, go to the casino. That's why they're very, very wealthy in the casino. That's why they give you free drinks and free rooms, because dopamine, it's all mental. It's all the mental. It's all the mind. It's all consciousness. When you hit it big, you think you're going to do it again. So you chase that dopamine. That's how humanity works. That's who we are. We're humans, an attribute of light, human having a physical experience, a spiritual being having a physical experience. We want that dopamine. We want that feeling. Christ Jesus says, take the middle ground, right? Your emotions should not look like this. Your portfolio should not constantly be chasing this. You should be taking the middle ground, sell on the way up, pull, buy on the way down. Big dips, buy a chunk. Super simple. So we got 2025 is going to be historical. It's going to be amazing. Okay. Now, what I predict in the stock area is you're going to see the companies like the Nvidias, the MicroStrategies, Coinbase, those types of companies that are innovating into the future. Those companies are going to do very, very well. You're going to start to see the old companies that aren't innovating, that aren't moving into the future. A lot of blockbuster moments happening. I think there'll be some sort of maybe stock market pullback from mid 2025 to 2026. The markets have to cool off. If you look at Warren Buffett indicator, I mean, this is just simple logic stuff. I'm not a chart reader. I'm just looking at waves of energy and how things happen. Remember, markets never go straight up. They have to cool off. Everything has to cool off. So what do I do? Okay. So I'm a fundamental long-term investor with a short-term game plan. Okay. So from 2020 to 2022, just like I'm doing from 2024 to 2026 to the front end of 2026 before the collapse, is as it goes up, I calmly pull profits on exit targets going up. We have Merlin, the smartest way to track your crypto. I'm the co-founder and creator of that. It's down in my bio here. We teach you how to do an exit plan. We do not invest your crypto. Very important. It's a thing that shows you how to do exit plans. Okay. So you calmly exit the markets on the way up. And if you don't have a lot accumulated, you just accumulate during the markets. You just accumulate the next 6 years. Your next bull run is your wealth one. So I pull down the risk pyramid. Rule number one, don't lose money. Rule number two, follow rule number one. I use cash value life insurance. I stuff my profits. I fill my buckets. I have 2 more policies that I need to fill. When I fill those buckets, then there's overflow, right? I'm not putting it back into the US dollar. I use the US dollar. I use bank accounts to transact, to pay my team members with our companies. But when I have excess capital, I'm like, okay, some more silver. I'm definitely getting into real estate for tax liabilities for long term, not for the doors. My business is the greatest way to wealth. And then I'm actually launching, I'm in the process of testing a dividend strategy through ETFs. There's a very innovative thing happening with these volatile companies like Coinbase, MicroStrategies, things like that. So I'm testing that to create cash flow. But the cash flow, the dividends every single month are going to go right back into XRP, right back into Bitcoin, into a deflationary asset. So I'll pull it out of the traditional markets. I'll get it back into a deflationary asset and repeat the process, right? Another key too is don't buy Lambos and Ferraris and all these nice things. Never buy things you want with your family's money. If you want to, I want a wake boat. 100% want a wake boat for my kids. And I love fast cars. Okay. I want a Lamborghini Aventador someday, right? I could buy it now. I could pay for it now. I could easily afford it, but I will not take away from my family's future. So what does that look like? The things that I want, I put them on a board. Awesome. The things that I need, I get now. Excess capital goes into the markets. If I want something, I have to make sure, number one, my debts and non-negotiables are all taken care of by assets. Once I get there, and it'll be this next 12 months, that all my debts and non-negotiables, my family can survive off our assets, not my earned income. And when my earned income's going back in the market, not only until then, I'll be able to buy the things that I want. So then I buy an asset that'll pay for the depreciating liability. Okay. Very important, because you're going to see people, you're going to see it all over Twitter. Oh, Lambo money, this, and you're going to see people posting all the things they're buying and stuff. You can almost guarantee that person's going to go broke very quickly. Because if you don't rewire the foundation, you're going to end up in the exact same situation. This is about freedom. Freedom time, freedom of choice, freedom to go to a restaurant without thinking about the bill, freedom to be able to take care of your family, being the one who can take care of your family, being the one to be able to host the holidays, doing all these different things, travel the world, experience this amazing world. It's not about things. Those are all fleeting. Okay. And so we're going to go into 2025, going into 2026. Then we have the bear market, 2026, 2027, 2028. Now I mentioned a super cycle. Okay. We don't know what's going to happen with a pro crypto White House. The ice machine's going crazy. We don't know what's going to happen with the pro crypto White House, all these different things. So that's why I hold 50% of my portfolio, all my altcoins forever, because there could be a super cycle, but I'm holding 100% of my Bitcoin. I'm holding Bitcoin as a store of value like gold. In the future videos, I'll share with you, I'll be doing if you borrow from your assets tax free. Okay. So we're going to go into 2026, 2027, 2028. That'll be the bear market. It'll be the Bitcoin halving again in 2028. And then on the back end of 2028, we'll experience it'll be like 2024 right now. So then it'll go back up. And that's going to be a massive, 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 I believe, parabolic move, because you're going to have everything being tokenized. By 2030, your reality is going to be absolutely unrecognizable. So number one, financial literacy. Understand what money is. Understand what the Federal Reserve is. Understand what the US dollar is. Understand that everything in the system is debt. So if you're getting paid in someone's debt for the energy that you transfer trading time for money, then wouldn't you want to transmute that debt into something that's going to grow? Number two is learn to focus on getting your debts and non-negotiables. Understand, how many of you know exactly what your debts and non-negotiables are? Do you know exactly what your net is to survive? And do you know where all your money is going? You need to create a budget. When you create a budget, get rid of all things that are not debts and non-negotiables, and that will increase your income. There's only two ways you can make money: increase your income or reduce your expenses. Do both. With the increase in income, learn how to invest, study, do your own research, study these markets, study what you're doing, build a long-term fundamental plan and stick to it. Get disciplined. Once you start to earn from those investments, pull some profits off the table, get your initial investment out, and then learn how to compound, secure, and grow and diversify. So we have our kingdom, and then we have a moat around our kingdom. And then after that, once you get to the wealth level, then you learn how to protect it with a trust. So I have what's called the Rockefeller Waterfall System, my dynasty trust. Not touting the Rockefellers, but you should read the book, What Would the Rockefellers Do? The Vanderbilts ran out of their wealth in 7 generations because they passed down money. The Rockefellers passed down I don't know what their exact was, financial literacy, and they put a insurance mechanism on there. Every time a Rockefeller dies, the family becomes wealthier, and they pass down the rules and regulations. That's what I'll do with my dynasty trust. So I hope this keeps you calm. I hope to be the calm in the storm. We'll take a deep breath together. You're right on time. You're not here to get rich quick. You're the generational shifter in your family, and it's going to work out. It starts here. It starts here. Connect the two together. Okay. You're already wealthy. You're already healthy. You got this. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. We'll be back in the studio tomorrow, rocking and rolling. And I love you guys. So I shared the big warning about the scammers out there. If you need any support at all, first of all, on this channel here, you have a free education section. There's tons of free education. I tell you exactly what I'm doing and how I do it. If you need additional support, we get hundreds of messages on how I use cash value life insurance. I make sure my family is insured, and I make sure my money is insured. But what I do may not work for you. Okay. So we created what's called a needs assessment. When you fill out that needs assessment, my team's going to call you, text you, email you. Make sure you show up to the appointment if you fill it out. Don't fill it out if you're not going to show up to the appointment. We're getting hundreds. I'm staffing up. I have people in all 50 states and Canada. That's specifically around learning how to insure your family, insure your wealth, tax-free retirement. We can do a retirement strategy. Okay. So you'll never send my team member money directly, ever. We do not get paid by the client. So super important. On the other side, we have what's called the 120-day challenge, the Coach JV Academy, the 3T Warrior Academy. That is an education academy. Okay. Live calls, market calls, support, community, and my revolutionary 120-day challenge, where I've helped 9,300 people get their shit together in the craziest economic times in the world. Remember, you're already everything you need. I love you guys. I appreciate you. As we always say, warriors, rise, get your shit together. Let's go.